accused number one indicated that to the presiding officer, he requested that he should be detained in prison because he was assaulted when he is kept at the police stations. Can you dispute that?
That's correct, my lord. And can we also check the date on the charge sheet? When was that? And what was specifically, my lord, recorded?
Do you want to go through it?
No, my lord, I'm just saying.
Go to Exhibit 00, then you can check the records. The appearance on the 30th of June 2020. Or maybe an appearance after the 7th of July. So maybe they said the 10th of July.
Hello? Yeah, fine.
So will you be able to read the records?
My lord, I can only see the accused assaulted by SAPS Silverton.
Is that all?
My lord, I can see that he's requesting to be detained at Correction Services.
Thank you. May I proceed to case number 2?
Alton Hart, that goes that record that she is reading to talk about an assault that accused number one allegedly put on record or reported. How helpful was that piece of evidence, and to whom?
It's helpful to the defense to prove that why would there be something on record where he actually indicate to a judge or a magistrate who's ever saw him that put it on the charge sheet that I want to be detained at the correction. He wouldn't have known that there would have been a trial pertaining to those confessions back then when he told the magistrate or judge already that I'm being assaulted. Can I be removed from the police station to the correctional facility? So that means I would find that the defense team is now, with that piece of evidence, it's helping them to prove that an assault took place on accused 1, but it can also now sort of half corroborate what accused 2 is saying, to say that these police officers, in order to extract information out of these guys, they actually assaulted them. And now it speaks to the credibility, because if you look at all the witnesses that testified on the state, they gave like what one would say bare skeleton evidence. It's like they were just sticking to the basics. They did not go into the nitty-gritties. What were they doing at that stop, what they were doing, and they were denying all the other stops that was taken, and the AVL came and actually contradicted that. So for me, the credibility of that witnesses is already in dispute, and now one has to look at, is these witnesses consistent with each other? And the only consistencies I can see is like the consistent pattern that actually favors them, that they are consistent with. But when one looks at, is it accurate? I dispute that what they actually telling the court or told the court is accurate, because the AVL logs again gives it. And now the lady that's currently on the stand is testifying, Mohale, she's now saying that she can see from the charge sheet there was assault. So it means that something untoward happened to these accused, where information was extracted from them, and they didn't do it absolutely free and voluntarily. And under those circumstances, I think the court should just come and cut this trial within a trial short and say, for me, there's indicators that prove that something untoward happened, and I won't allow that confessions to stand and the pointing out to stand. Let's just deal with the witnesses in the main case, and let's get the game or the show on the road.
Hello, members of the Court of Public Opinion. I am your host, Mrs. Independent, aka I am not a lawyer, but we are going to look at the contradictions in this case, especially from the state witnesses. So we're going to look at it and listen to the clips that I have provided, and just let me know what you think about the contradiction, because as Alton Hart says, if you are a prosecutor, you bring all the information, so that the court can get to a just finding. And this contradiction, basically it was for trial within a trial, okay? And this was supposed to be kicked out. I mean, the confessions were supposed to be kicked out, but now we know that this case is hinging only on confessions. So there was no way that they were going to be kicked out and be inadmissible, because that is the only thing that is holding this case together. Other than that, there is nothing whatsoever that can take this case to another level.
Did accused number one ever mention that I want to change this trouser because it's dirty?
My Lord, all I can say is that as we were walking to his place of residence, my Lord, he was complaining to say, why because and then, my Lord, when we got there inside the shack, my Lord, when we were done with everything, my Lord, he also added, my Lord, to say, can I change this trouser because it is expensive, my Lord, and above way to the Pagats.
So according to him, he says he messed himself up. That's the reason why he had to change the trouser. And number two, you took the trouser. Even today, the trouser was taken by the police. It has never been brought back.
Elton Hart, how does the court determine, because this witness has said that neither accused number one nor accused number two, at least to her knowledge, were assaulted. Now, with this piece of evidence that has been led by the defense, this Brentwood trouser, who does it help?
I think it helps the accused person in this regard, because the accused from the get-go, if we can jog back down memory lane, when Mukhani was questioned about this, Mukhanu them, and I think it was Janssen them, at some stage they denied that this guy actually asked that his trouser be changed because he has messed himself, and now she's now already saying that yes. So now it becomes not a question about, first we look at the credibility of these witnesses, who's telling the truth. Now already we have like two mutually destructive versions from the state's witnesses already, that the one is testifying this and Mukhani is saying something different. So they are contradicting each other already. And now we also need to look at the reliability of these witnesses in connection with what they are testifying, so that one can look at, is there a consistent pattern between what these witnesses are saying. And we can all say that Janssen, Buthelezi, Mukhano, all of them first testified that they never stopped at certain parts along the way when they took the guy from, I think, Vosloorus to Morocco police station side. But when the AVL logs came out, it indicated there were certain stops by the vehicle. And it also came out that on a certain day, I think 22 June, they were not even using the vehicle whose AVL logs is there. So that now already speaks to two things: credibility, reliability. And these witnesses for the state is doing a very good job to actually contradict each other. And I think Ngomezulu is now pointing out, and I could see Advocate Beloy is trying to interject every time when it seems like he sees that Ngomezulu is like sort of half cornering these witnesses, then and he also sort of half selectively chose which evidence to bring to this court to help the court to come to a just verdict. And that is not what the prosecutor is supposed to be doing. He should give the court all the evidence to make a just verdict.
You speak of the...
Now, let's take a listen to Advocate Baloyi denying and refuting that accused one was assaulted. But the occurrence book states that. Let's take a listen.
Of evidence that accused number one sustained any injuries as a result of this sustained and severe assault. As Lieutenant Colonel Mboto put it, who, as we've mentioned, is a very seasoned senior police officer, says they cannot assault a person 3 times and then he comes to the office walking. That is not true, my lord. I want to deny that again. Based on those facts, the gentleman was going to come by an ambulance if he was assaulted 3 times, 3 places like that. That is not true. The second point that we want to make is that the extract of the occurrence book of Vilera Police Station Exhibit NN and Alberton Police Station Exhibit KK show that the accused had no injuries. The third submission is that extracts of the occurrence book from Diepkloof Police Station also indicate that accused number one had no injuries. Except, as we mentioned, my lord, for the fact that there was this marks on the wrist due to the tight handcuffs, and Colonel Mboto testified that he had to loosen the handcuffs a bit. The fourth submission in this regard, we mentioned that both Lieutenant Colonel Mboto and Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe Very seasoned commission officers saw no injuries on accused number 1.